What's up, y'all? It's the Broke Capitalist coming at you today with a real quick one here. Want to encourage everybody to go check myself out, Mike, and my man Tom on a little podcast or video we do pretty much every third Wednesday. I'll leave a link to yesterday's discussion in the video. Check it out. We talk about it's pretty good discussions, I would say. You got my point of view coming from like a political, social viewpoint. Mike, the guy with no hair, black guy with no hair, is coming from the finance, macro financial viewpoint. And Tom here, white guy, is coming from a geopolitical viewpoint. And we share our views. Like we'll take a topic like the Trump arrest and give our opinion on it based off of our viewpoint. So I just wanted to encourage people to go out there and check that out. Check out Rethinking the Dollar with Mike, who hosted, the black guy there. And Tom is The Coming Crisis. The Coming Crisis on Rumble. And of course, here at the Broke Capitalist on YouTube with me. So I just wanted to mention that before I get into today. And if you've been around this week, I've been bouncing off of this outline here to basically talk about what has happened, because you will notice in it, I would say probably today, next week, upcoming month, people are going to start to wake up. And unfortunately, I believe it's too late. I think we've gone beyond a point of no return. And if you want to know, return from what? Basically the Republic. I think there's been plans set in place. The dominoes are falling. Trump being indicted and then arraigned was pretty much, you can't come back from that, in my opinion. We'll go through some pain, some upheaval, huge disruption, and then from the ashes will come out something different. That's just my opinion. So what are people going to be talking about in your sphere of influence? You're going to get people starting to talk about the de-dollarization. Talk about de-dollarization by foreign countries, and the effect it will have on you will be direct. It will make everyone in America's standard of living just go down. So that will be a direct effect on you. And how did we get to this point? We would not be here without certain dominoes falling. And I'm going to talk about one of those dominoes again today, and give an example of the psyche that's involved in that. And outlined it. You see here, there's this like pink lettering here, right? So in 2015, I've been talking about it around that time, not that date, but around that time, before, a little bit after, whatever. Participation trophy kids are coming into adulthood, some of them, right? I don't know why I got this bright line in my face. Anyway, get over here. And so what, right? So what? Everybody gets a trophy. The problem with that is short-term feel-good moment, like the heroin. Not that I've done it. You get this short-term high. Like, I went outside, I sucked at baseball, but hey, I got a trophy just like the guy who's the best at baseball. So we all get to go get ice cream. Well, where does that come from? Right? Where does that mindset come from? Where does that value set come from? I can tell you one thing: it doesn't come from capitalism, which is, pretty much based in, and it doesn't come from traditional American values, right? Because capitalism and traditional American values, at the heart of it all, is merit. Land of the free, home of the brave. I say it all the time. You're free to go out there, risk your money, livelihood to make something better of yourself. And you have to be brave to do that. You have to be brave to take on that amount of personal responsibility. So historically, America, home of the free, land of the brave, land of the free, home of the brave, whatever. That was what made America great, unique, one of the things, right? But now you have this thing where these participation trophy kids and their parents, they don't believe in equal opportunity, which is based in merit. All of you guys have an equal opportunity to go out there and try out for the basketball team. All you guys have an equal opportunity to go out there and study math, right? What they want is equal outcomes, which an example of that would be in a Black community, especially, well, we want what they got. We've been here this long, they've been here this long, we should have the same thing. Ironically, in the Black community, we don't consider that when it comes to sports. No one 5'9", 250 pounds, 50 years old is complaining that they're not playing in the NBA. Because it's a merit, sports is as merit-based as you can get, well, it used to be. You know what I mean. Hopefully you know what I mean. So I want to give you an example of when, right? This belief system of equal outcomes and this belief system that every white person you don't know is a racist clashes, right? And here we go. You guys may have heard this story. I didn't think I didn't really want to talk about it, but here it is.
Guys, speak to the First Lady?
No, apparently she was supposed to come to our locker room before the game, but we said no.
Before the game?
Yeah, she was supposed to come to our locker room and go to Iowa's locker room. I don't know if she talked to them. I don't know if she did, but we said we didn't want to. We didn't want her coming to the locker room. I think Joe Biden had put somebody else to win a national championship. He didn't even put us on his bracket.
First of all, that's just petty. That just, yeah, Petty White, Petty Davis, that's just petty, right? But that's not the reason why she's in the news, right? Let's keep going. This is what I want to talk about. So Reese rejected an invitation to the White House after the First Lady Jill Biden announced she was also inviting the runner-up Hawkeye. Now, if you've been in America for 15 minutes, you will see a racial dynamic at play here. I don't care if it was intentional or unintentional. Jill been in this game long enough to know I'm not giving her the benefit of doubt on this at all. When she decided to say, wouldn't it be nice for the second place team to also come to the White House? Knowing that the first place team is a team full of Black girls who play in the South. If they're not from the South, they play in the South. And I saw that game, and they definitely interact with each other as if they're from urban settings, right? The Iowa team, I don't know if there was a non-Caucasian woman on that team. I just didn't notice any if there were there, but there's been plenty of videos of like their hype songs. Totally, they're not. Boise is about as urban as you're gonna get. So different cultures in America, right? But the dynamic at play here is, for the first time that I'm aware of, someone wants to give a participation trophy to the runner-up of a national championship in America. That's unapologetically un-American. And this is coming from the First Lady, right? That's the biggest problem. Like, our culture has eroded so much that the First Lady of the United States is suggesting that we give a participation trophy to the second place winner. Then you add in the racial dynamic which this girl, Angela Reese, if she's been in America more than 15 minutes, she's been indoctrinated with racism her entire life. Every negative outcome between her and a non-Black person has something to do with race. If that's true or if it's not true, doesn't matter. That's what she's been told. If she's ever watched TV, if she's ever seen a movie, if she's ever read a new book or old book, it's been translated into or massaged into, well, it's a negative result, therefore, and it was a white person, Black person, therefore racism. Here you get a negative result. How are you going to invite the team we just beat to receive the same reward? In her eyes, and in probably half the country's eyes, this would not have happened if Iowa won and LSU lost. So there's this perceived racism at play here. Now, can you convince Angela Reese that Jill Biden just misspoke and she just, you know, she would have invited LSU if they lost as well as, you know, to participate even though they lost? You'll never convince her of that. I don't think you will. Because that's what she believed. If you're Black in America, you've been trained, indoctrinated to believe every negative outcome between you and a white person has to do with racism. So she's not going to just wake up one day and say, you know what, Jill Biden just misspoke. She was, you know, she don't know what she was talking about, especially under these circumstances. You're the first lady of America. This is the first time ever this has even been suggested to my knowledge. And when the suggestion comes, it's not between two white teams. It is not the white team that won and you invite the Black team, elevating their status. It is you take the Black team that won and you can look at it as lowering them down to a second place team so they can take participate in the same reward, or you take the losing team and elevate them to the winning team. There's no way you will ever convince me that Jill Biden did not know what she was doing. I'm not calling Jill Biden a racist. I'm calling her something worse. She's a socialist Marxist. And you must have conflict in order for socialist Marxist ideals, values to come in and destroy this country. And they've been doing a great job. And thank God for the internet. Some of this stuff is getting exposed. But before, the news media never say this because, you know, we have an attention span of a gnat, most people nowadays. But you'll never convince me that Jill Biden looked at the winning team, looked at the losing team and thought, you know, let's just invite both of them. Nobody's going to say anything. No, she knew this will cause conflict, which is good for socialist Marxists, right? No one will ever think that this has anything with socialist Marxism, socialism or Marxism. Everybody's going to think this has something to do with racism. And to a degree it does. But I won't go too deep into this, but under the umbrella of collectivism, you have socialism, communism, racism. So they're all under the same umbrella. And under individualism, you're going to have merit. So if Jill Biden was a capitalist who believed in merit, there's no way she would even thought of bringing a second place team in there, no matter what the race is. So I want to leave you guys with that. Like, share, subscribe, spread this around. I'm trying to turn this topic somewhat toward what we will do after this falls off the rails, because we're in free flight right now. We just went off a cliff and we're in free flight. Some of us are going to survive that landing, some of us won't. But once we hit the ground, we got to hit the ground running, right? So I don't know when that transition on this channel will take place, but these are just thoughts. All right, y'all. Peace. I'm out.
I just wanted to remind you guys to check out thebrokecapitalist.com. You'll find some awesome books there, including a historical fantasy fiction series that I star in, called Ideas in Blood.